to squeeze my eye a bit.
Welcome back. I'm sort of semi-permanently back to reality, although I'm still a bit...
No, you're not. I can't handle it anymore.
I'm not there, I'm fine. I'm an Italian gangster. Look at me. The question is, how deep do I go with the post-IB for catch-up? Yeah, me and you are alright now. Post-IB for catch-up, it fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie. Did a post about it on Instagram yesterday. It was more geared towards balance and more geared towards how I think us bodybuilders in general can become very cocooned in our own sphere, and the tipping point between having a social life and enjoying yourself and becoming too involved in bodybuilding gets quite apparent. And I've spent the last 8 months probably in a deficit, dieting with the same routine, the same sort of monotonous wake up, cardio, egg whites, work, train, that when you go to Ibiza and you're exposed to the complete opposite of that, which is recreational drugs, alcohol, and a really good time, it kind of blows your mind a bit. So I got back, and the last 3 days I've been really low, like really low. I was getting really scared. I thought I was fucking suffering from depression, which is, you got to be a word that needs to be used lightly because everyone starts going mad about it. But I was really low for like 3 days, and I didn't know what I wanted. I was like, did I want that lifestyle? Did I want to sort of do that all the time and go out every weekend and just stop bodybuilding? But I'm fine now. It just takes a few days. I think the Ibiza blues are incredibly powerful, and yesterday was the first day of off-season. I signed up to King's Gym, which is great, and today we'll go through the off-season and training and everything else. 1, 2, 3, you're back in the room.
Let's do this.
Oh, you do look like the Jackson 5.
I know.
I do like that hair though.
Thanks.
Meal number 1 is going down. We've got 10 egg whites with 70 grams, or I know it's a bit weird number, 70 grams, just the packs of oats, the apple and blueberry that are now back in Tesco's are like 35 grams. And we also have 25 grams of raisins. We shall go through my macros after this meal that Calum sent over. Got quite a severe dip in carbohydrate intake on a rest day, which is surprising because usually even when I was prepping, I had my carbohydrates the same just for recovery purposes, but we'll see. We'll run through with it and see how we get on. You can't beat a good notebook, can you? You can tell you are getting old when the excitement to buy a new notebook is up here. So the current macronutrient breakdown for this start of the off season is a differentiation in carbohydrates and fat compared to a rest day and a training day. So for a rest day, it's 240 grams of protein, 190 carb and 70 fat. For a training day, it's 325 carb and 60 fat, same protein. So a deduction in fats on a training day, Chris Bumstead's bay, his content's gone up quite well, hasn't it? Has anyone been watching it? It's very good. The deduction by 10 grams of fat on a training day, and an increase of around about 135 grams of carbs, I think it is, on a training day compared to a rest day. So we'll see what we do in terms of recovery. There's a list of things that Calum wants me to get, which is a myotape for measurements, a polar heart rate sensor. In terms of supplementation, some EAAs, some creatine and dextrin, a Strom Sports support, which is a very good all-in-one support for anyone that's on an anabolic cycle, some zinc, magnesium and citrulline, that's for the intra-workout as well. So it is coming up to 11:30. I want to get in the gym in the next probably hour and a half to 2 hours. So I'm going to have my pre-workout meal shortly. Pre to the workout meal, we are having 50 grams of Cocoa Pops with half a bagel, the seeded bagels, and some whole earth peanut butter. I like the addition of the fats to my cereal in terms of, not like longevity with regard to training, but the the duration of training, you don't get that slight little dip that I sometimes get if I'm having quite an elongated session, like an hour and a half. The addition of some fats on board, I tend to have about 10 grams of fat on top of my 40 to 50 grams of carbohydrates, and that sustains me very, very well for a session. Today we've got hamstrings and back. So I'm waiting for my order from Insight this month for my off-season stack, which will be intra-workout EAAs from Redcon 1 and Cluster Bomb from Redcon 1 as well. So in the meantime, these last 2 sessions, I've been using some cyclic dextrin that I've got left over from bulk powders and 2 scoops of the Crack and Pump, which has given me about 6 grams of L-citrulline just to have intra-workout. This isn't an intra-workout, this is a pump formula, but it's flavoured, it's bombsicle flavour, so I'm having that for my intra. Your bonnet's looking jank, to be fair. You got the multicolour going on.
Yeah, oh my
I'm still, oh no, the sun. I'm still pretty dommed up from yesterday, to be honest. The pendulum squats was a new movement for me. It was quad dominant yesterday, and I got hams today, but they're a little bit sore. No pre-workout this week. I'm gonna, from what we did leading up to Ibiza with the Helios and the Clen and all the caffeine, and then obviously going to Ibiza, we've taken just about 5 to 6 days. You off? 5 to 6 days with no caffeine. Ye's album, new album, is lit, isn't it? It's very, very good. I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't slang up bang, I just smoke motherfuckers like it ain't no thing.
Everyone was going a bit mad for that song the other day, weren't they? Right, rotation number 1, second session of the off season. We have got hamstrings and back. We've got seated leg curls, barbell RDL. It's meant to be banded, but I don't have any bands on me yet. I've just ordered some. Hip extensions to failure, hammer Dorian Yates rows, underhand, pull downs, rear delt flyers, and heavy dumbbell rear delt partials. I think I might probably voice over this one. Session number 2 in the books, completed. Yesterday we did quads, delts and arms. I'm not feeling too dommed up, and that's been 48 hours now. Recovery is so key in this current off-season block, however long it's going to be. My first intention was to do an 18-month off-season with Calum when we discussed it initially, and start competition prepping the end of 2019 excuse me, for a 2020 show. I'd very much like to grace the stage with my good friend Josh Bridgman, who I think is getting the twinge to do classic bodybuilding now, and obviously Josh is natural and I'm assisted, so I could potentially go crazy for the next 7 to 8 months and pack on as much lean tissue as possible and see how big we can get. And if I feel that I've gained enough weight, then we can start contest prep at the same time. But we'll play it by ear. We'll play it by ear for the next few months. I don't want to do anything too crazy. I think the much more elongated off season is probably better for me, especially as I haven't had a coach for an off season. So we started with seated leg curls. We did 2 working sets. The first one was 8 to 12 reps, and the second one was 12 to 16. Reduction in about 20% for set number 2. I haven't got my book with me. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. But we moved on to some hip banded barbell RDLs. I don't have any bands as of yet. I've got some on order, so it was just a normal barbell RDL. Again, 2 working sets. The first was 6 to 10 at 140 kilo, which I was pleased with, because my RDLs haven't been too strong, to be completely honest, leading up to like Ibiza, and my I was going quite hard with my deficit leading up to the holiday. So this sudden influx of carbs over the last sort of 4 to 5 days have been brilliant. I've felt my physique fill up already, and the scale weight's up by about 1 kilo since from stage weight. And the second set was slightly higher repetitions, again 20% off, 10 to 15 repetitions, managed to squeeze out the full 15. I think I had 120 on the bar, so not too crazy. But training, as I said as I was saying, this next clip is absolutely fantastic at the moment. I put a post up on Instagram about how atmosphere plays such a large role in progression in one's physique, and either goal of either bulking or cutting. Having the guys around at King's, which is a great gym. It's not. I feel sometimes when I train at Crayford, it's quite pretentious, and a lot of people look down at you through their nose, and it's not as much as a family environment as King's. But already, like a couple of sessions in, it's great. Everyone's coming over and saying hello and things like that, which is absolutely fantastic. The hip extensions were to failure. These were 3 sets. I think I got 14, and then I tried to squeeze out 16 on the 3rd set. And then what we did was we went straight into back. Hamstrings are fucking fried. They're fucking ruined. We did 2 sets of seated leg curls at 12 and 15 reps. We did barbell RDLs, which I was surprised in terms of strength, just because I haven't been RDLing for about a week and a half now since holiday. And then just finished on 3 sets of hip extensions to failure. Did 14, then managed to squeeze out 16 on the last one. So now we're on to back with majority. We've got 1 rowing movement and 1 underhand pull down movement, and finish on some fucking rear delt flies. It's such a small amount of volume, but I think the atmosphere of King's is such a huge contribution. Like the last 2 sessions of training have been like the best 2 sessions out of however many years I've been training. It's been mad, but we're very, very hot in King's. I'm dripping from head to toe, man. So straight into back. Calum's got quite a few clients down at King's Gym, so he knows the layout of the equipment, which is absolutely fantastic. And in terms of the much more vast array of equipment for all areas of the body, back, legs, arms, delts, chest, the progression in my physique I think is going to be huge compared to just staying in the West Wickham Leisure Centre, which was good. The pump room was good. It had what you needed, but in terms of that extra growth and that extra additional mass that we need, King's is what we really want. So this was the hammer strength Dorian Yates rows. Again, 2 working sets. The first was 6 to 10, really trying to squeeze it out. And the second was 10 to 15. Then we went on to some hammer strength ISO pull downs with the underhand grip. It's a bit of a weird grip, this one. It's not too friendly on the elbows, and my wrists were a little bit flaring up, so I think next time I may just go single-handed instead of just like double-handed, because you can get much more of a squeeze when I'm doing single-handed. In terms of the repetition ranges on this was again 2 working sets. First set 6 to 10, second was 10 to 15. Tempo wise 3021, but I wasn't really going too crazy on tempo, just trying to shift the weight. And rest times on these, Calum's got as much as needed, which is, you know, we're in an off season at the moment and strength is of importance, so we're not really looking for that crazy short rest times. But I'm going to leave it here with the rear Delt Fly machines, 2 sets. The first was 8 to 12, the second was slightly higher at 12 to 16, and then we went on to some heavy dumbbell rear delt partials. So I'll leave you with that.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck me, Calum. Jesus Christ. Christ alive. We're in the famous King's Gym posing room. Just got done with back and some rear delts. It's very good in here. I ain't got my zoom on me, but it's good in here. Post-workout meal number 1, we had some whey protein, 1 scoop of ISO Surge on the way home from the gym. And now we're just going to have some Cocoa Pops, 50 grams of Cocoa Pops with some skim milk. Just some quick digesting carbs, man, you know what I mean? Easy on the stomach, like. I'm sweating from here to toe as well, my fucking fuck, mate. But we're gonna have some of that, and then my second meal, my post workout meal, will be probably some rice and some chicken, something easy again to digest. I'll have a little nap, and I need to get some more bits and bobs. Need to get some more green powder because my veg consumption tends to decrease on an off season just because the pure volume of it fills me up, and when the primary concern is carbohydrates and protein and fats, I just tend to go a little bit cray-cray with the green powders. 150 grams on the nose. Where the net go, look. Oh, it's not gonna go.
Doesn't go on cue, sorry.
Oh, a little one. Growth hormone nap. When the coach tells you that he wants you to have half an hour naps on training days, you don't turn them down. Half an hour nap now. And then client check-ins, and edit this video and the nutrition video that's going out on the member site. And I think, who's playing tonight?
Spain, Iran?
Yeah, Spain need to be careful.
How do I know that?
Very, very careful. Tonight's recovery meal, everything's a recovery meal now. We have got 6 turkey meatballs, and what I do is I cook all 12, so it's easy for me tomorrow just to have at lunch, along with my chicken meal. But we've got 6 turkey meatballs, we've got 75 grams of pasta with the Lloyd Grossman pepper sauce. It's nice, this one. Tomato and sweet red pepper, goes a lot nicer with turkey. And we just got some salad. So in terms of an overall calorie breakdown, we'll be sitting on not a huge amount left, but it'll be just 1 bagel. Protein consumption is pretty much been hit already, so no need for any egg whites tonight.
Team Cycles TV.
Team Cycles TV. That's the new channel if it all goes Pete Tong with this one. Final calories are going in for the final calories of the day, which is half a bagel with 30 grams of peanut butter. Just hit some fats. I've cooked 2 5% minced meals for tomorrow and Friday. Thursday and Friday, so 2 250 meals. I'm also going to take some zinc and 5-HTP because this is the time when I'm starting to wind down, and I ask Siri, "Hey Siri, hey Siri, hey Siri, hey Siri." Yes. Hey Siri. Shh. Night mode on. Night mode on. If you've got a screen, or put the sunglasses on. I need to get a few bits and bobs, as I said before. But this is the time where I wind down. I'm not really on social media like an hour before bed. I spray lavender oil on the bed. Very good, helps you sleep. And I get a good 7 hours in. The final calories of the day are as follows. Bear with. How's your day's been? How's your day been, guys and girls? How are you and yourself? Final calories of the day, 240 protein, 241 protein. Goal was 240. Carbs 327, goal was 325. Fats 49, so I'm under my fats by 10 grams, which isn't too bad. I can add a little bit more peanut butter if I want to.
We good?
Wes and Laura. Late night fun rolling bits. Hams are domed already, which is never a real good sign when you've trained the body part and then have DOMs at night time. So have a foam roll and then we'll go to bed. What's the time? 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock? 10 o'clock. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 hours. Perfecto.